shelving unit in our home, and we're super happy with the result. So today I wanted to make a video detailing the process of how we got these shelves from beginning to end, as it was our first time installing these shelves and we didn't know what to expect. And so hopefully this video can help bring some clarity to the process. Because Vitsoe sells very customizable and modularized shelving, it's actually not possible to order directly online. What you must do is actually go on their website and talk to a Vitsoe planner who will go through your plans with you and make sure that everything will fit into your home. So to do so, I first took photos of the place that I wanted to install these shelves, and I gave the planner the custom dimensions of our space, along with our specific use case and what we were planning on putting on our shelves. Pretty shortly after, I was matched with a Vitsoe planner, and she sent me over actually 4 different designs that she had for me based on my requirements. And then from there, it was pretty easy to just have back and forth between the two of us, where I gave her feedback on the designs that she gave me, which designs I liked more than the others, and also just some small tweaks. But then in the end, I actually thought about it some more and ended up drawing out my own designs as well, just so that I can tell her exactly what I wanted. And then from there, she took my designs, turned it into the Vitsoe shelving, and then had me approve it before she finally sent the order over to me. So overall, the process was actually pretty fun, and it took about a week for me to go from the very beginning of contacting them to getting to a place where I was super happy with the design and I knew that I wanted to go forward with it. And then from there, it was basically a waiting game. I think things are pretty back ordered given the COVID restrictions. So we actually had to wait almost 2 months for our shelves to arrive. But the estimated time for us was actually over 4 months. So it was actually came earlier than we expected, which was nice. Delivery was also super smooth. Someone from the Vitsoe furniture delivery service contacted us directly. They called us and told us at the time that we should be expecting them. They showed up right on time. They brought all of the furniture into our condo for us, so we really didn't have to worry about moving it at all. And all of the pieces came in super nicely packages, where it was easy for us to open, and also these cabinets came pre-installed as well, so that definitely saved us some time. One thing to note though was some of our pieces did arrive a tiny bit damaged. We still use them, but there's just some slight scratches and bends. But the good news was after we installed it, I actually emailed our Vitsoe planner and told her that 2 pieces had arrived damaged. And it was actually super easy. She was really nice about it, and she immediately told us not to worry, and she was gonna send us replacement pieces for those damaged pieces, and we didn't even need to ship back the damages. And so that was just really awesome customer service that we experienced straight off the bat with Vitsoe. So the second part that I'll talk about is the installation process. In total, I think it took us about 5 hours to install all of these shelves. And I think true to the company's mission, they really thought through the whole installation process and tried to make it as seamless as possible. For example, they gave us custom Vitsoe levels that we could use during installation. And they gave us custom molly bolts as well that we can use to install these railings on our drywall. And they will actually make sure to send you the exact pieces that you need depending on what your wall material is. For us it was drywall, but I know if you had wood or concrete, they would also take that into consideration in the design process and make sure to send you the appropriate equipment. So we just unboxed the first box. This is everything that came in it. This is all the hardware that we're going to be using to install. Well, and it even came with a Vitsoe pencil. What? Okay, anyway. So I think the trickiest part of installing this was definitely getting the 4 railings on the wall, because that's sort of the foundation of the whole shelving. So that was the part that we were the most detail oriented and took the most time doing.
Right, so these are the tracks that mount on the wall that the shelves will mount onto. So they go vertically. You can see holes on them actually, so this is where like the shelves individually will clip into, so that's what makes it modular. It comes with 2 of these levels. So these are supposed to help with installing the tracks. So what you do is you take one track, you put it against the level and you put it on the wall, and then you make sure that the track is vertical, like wherever you want it to be on the wall. And then after you have one track installed, what you do is you take these and you can, like they actually have holes on them that actually fit into these holes on the tracks.
Wow.
And then you like put one on top, one on the bottom, and you slide another track up to it. So that's how you figure out the exact spacing between the tracks.
Once the railings were up, we just had to attach the shelves to the railings using these steel bolts. And I think that is another tricky part that you actually might need 2 people for, because you need to, like for example, for these heavier cabinets, you had to lift the cabinet while inserting the steel bolt into the railing, and so having 2 people there definitely makes it a lot easier. So we just installed our very first cabinet. It's pretty easy, you just slide in with these bolts.
Pins.
But it's really scary because this thing is really heavy, so kind of scared that it's not gonna rip our wall out. But I think it looks good. So we're gonna keep installing the rest. So after installing the shelves came the most fun part, which is the third part that I'll talk about, which is how we designed our shelves and how we decided to fit it into our use case. So we actually went with 3-column design, and it's actually a wide column, a narrow column, and a wide column. So with Vitsoe, you'll know that there's actually only 2 widths. There is the wider one and a more narrow one to choose from. And so you can kind of like play around with different widths depending on the length of your space and also what you want to use the columns for and where your power outlets are as well. So for us, this was a configuration that worked the best. What we wanted to do in our first column was, this is gonna be my workstation. And it's also convertible into like a more display area as well, which I have it right now. And then above it, I just have additional shelf where I can either store some books, but right now I have a plant there, so it's more decorative. And this is where we have all of our cameras on display as well. And then for our second column, this is designed in conjunction with the third column as well, because we knew that we wanted to display our record player here along with the speakers. So like we sort of knew that these 2 columns would be combined into a single space. And then it came to a matter of like what type of cabinets we wanted. And we thought that to just break it up a little and not make it too symmetrical, we can go for a 2 shelving cabinet here and then a 1 shelf file cabinet here. And it's great to just have some additional storage there. And then because we have our record player here, we knew that we wanted like a shelf up here to store all of our vinyls, which we don't have that many right now, but I think 1 shelf will be sufficient for us. And even as we grow our vinyl collection, because of the modular nature of these shelves, we can easily add more shelves to accommodate our needs as they change over time. And so one thing to note here is like we got a deeper shelf here that's made especially for vinyls, as vinyls tend to be more deep than books. And then here we decided to go with a magazine rack, and this is also sort of in conjunction with our record player, because we thought, you know, it would be nice to display like magazines here, but also whenever we play a record, we could also like display the vinyl that we're playing, the album cover here as well. So it's kind of like very dual purpose and also in conjunction with our record player. And then lastly, at the very top, we have the narrowest depth shelf, and that's because we knew that we wanted to just use that as a way to like display some art, maybe display some other like vases and stuff like that. Since it's very high up, it's not very easily accessible, so it wasn't going to be somewhere where we were going to store things that we needed access to easily. It was more just going to be for decorative purposes. And yeah, that was basically our design. It's very suited specifically to our needs in the living room, and I really like just how it fit our use case really well, and it's also just a super pretty piece to look at as well. Okay, the fourth part I want to talk about is pricing, because I think a lot of people would be curious about that. So for all of the shelves and the delivery in total, we paid almost $5,000 USD, and I think that's definitely a steep price tag. But given the quality of the shelves and also the fact that we hope to use this for many years to come, I think it's worth the price tag. We even considered cheaper alternatives like IKEA shelving or this other company called String. But in the end, I think we just gravitated toward the Vitsoe aesthetic the most, and we knew that it was going to be quality pieces that last. And also, just like having heard good things about like their customer service and the amount of attention to detail that they put into the design, I think that's what ultimately swayed us to go with this brand. And so far, I don't regret our decision at all. I think even once we move apartments, move houses, we will take this with us and we'll be able to configure it to new use cases as well. So yeah, that was the end of our video. I hope that this was helpful to you in any way, just so you can see the beginning to end process of how to get these Vitsoe custom shelves. If you have any questions, then leave them in the comments below and I'll try to answer them. Yeah, and if you guys have your own Vitsoe shelves, then I would love to see them as well. Okay, bye.